Hello, Terry. It's with a heavy heart, I think, that we start today's show for sure.
Yeah,
If you
it is.
have not heard yet, the news is just breaking about Medina Spirit, the horse that won the Kentucky Derby, controversially because of the, what is it, Beto Meadow sign or something like that, passed away this morning. From we first saw the news, I did anyway. I was looking for, as I do in the morning, on Cameron Roberts' Twitter feed, and that's at cdrcam dot or whatever that is on YouTube. But he had broken right away. So I think he's the one who have to break the news. So if you see the news, make sure that you, or if you repeat the news in the media, make sure that Cameron gets credit for the one who broke the news. Because as far as I can tell, he was the first to break it. I was looking for the news, I couldn't find it anywhere else but on Cameron's Twitter feed. So make sure you give him credit. But Terry, that has since been confirmed that he has passed away. The horse, by the owners, the as you can see here from Thoroughbred Today or whatever this is, the owners Emir Zedin confirmed that Medina Spirit has passed away from a heart attack on the track. Now, I don't know. I mean, that just makes me feel horrible, Terry.
Me too. I mean, it's just another thing that we don't need to happen.
Mhm.
And, of course, I feel really bad for the horse and the connections. It's going to be very, very sad for them and emotional. And that just throws more mud into this thing about that they're dealing with, this controversial thing. I don't think it had anything to do with that, but a lot of people will.
Well, I don't pretend to know what happened. As the kids say, that's not my lane, right? No doubt
Mhm.
about it. This is the thing I don't understand too, as Tom Carley points up. It's a healthy 3-year-old. I don't know um, much about training horses, but what I do know is that Terry, you and I come from an era where we have the you're innocent until proven guilty. I know in the age of social media, everybody wants to be quick to condemn online. Everybody's looking for that viral moment. Terry, I brought up in an era, you're brought up in an era to look for the truth, not for instant fame on YouTube, Twitter, wherever. But what I
Mhm.
have to say is that what I have to say regarding this is a lot of bad seems to be following Bob around, right?
Mhm.
And whether the horse died of natural causes, which is very likely, right? However, it seems to me that sometimes life is sending you a message, right? Medina
Mhm.
Spirit test positive, the horse dies. I think, Bob, you're the most high profile person in the sport. And if you've been around the show long enough, you know I'm very measured in what I have to say. But, Bob, you've been around the sport. You are the face of the sport. Dude, you either got to get it right or get out. Because right now, whether you like it or not, whether you have anything to do with it or not, you are hurting the sport unquestionably.
Yes, I agree with that.
And the odd thing is, Tom says every couple of all I say is horses of the past ran every couple of weeks. Now you run every 60 days and Mariah Terry 3 years old, right? Something is wrong with the breed, and that's something you talk about all the time, Terry, right?
I do, yeah. I've noticed it over the years that I've been going, starting way back in the 50s.
So looking at this strange, the odd thing about this, Terry, is that recent, just the same earlier in the day, and the news broke that they can prove that the horse wasn't injected with the ointment. So it's an interesting thing, not an interesting thing. It's a sad thing, and I think it's something that horse racing has to clean up. Bob, like I said, either get it right or get out because you're hurting us right now. I know it's tough to do when you're making millions of dollars, but it's the right thing to do. Sometimes morals over money, my friend, and the betterment of the business right now would be better, at least if you stepped aside for a little while. Irad Ortiz, Terry, we were watching these races on Saturday, and
Mm-hmm.
I mentioned at the time, it's funny how a lot of times, I mean, my eye picks things up, but there was Irad came over, bumped a horse, got the win, objection. Next race, the same exact thing happened, Terry. And I said to you at the time that it happens once, it's an accident. It happens twice. I don't believe in coincidences.
Right.
Apparently, the stewards don't believe in coincidences either because Irad Ortiz, for some of that rough riding, was actually suspended for 30 days. So
Absolutely.
when you take the highest profile jockey, or one of them, the highest profile trainer, and the news is all bad on a Monday, that's not good for our sport.
No, no, these are all negative things that just really hurt the sport, and it hurts the public image. So, they need to clean all this up. And
Well, I mean, we noticed it while we were doing Aqueduct Live right away with the horse coming over and bumping the horses. It was every single time. So it's
mhm,
pretty clear to me that it wasn't okay. The horse ducked in and there was nothing he can do about it 2 times in a row, right?
that's right.
Yes. So when was and Tom says is another example of jockeys having a different standard than owners and trainers do. So I agree. I mean, it's time. I'm not one for government. I'm anti-government. Not in a anarchist sense, but I feel like I know what's best for me, not some bureaucrat. And horse racing does need to have some upper hand somewhere that gets all this shit straightened out. Sorry, I don't usually swear, but I did right there because that's how I'm feeling this morning, Terry.
Yeah, I know.
All right, so I don't think it's a negative either, but I also think, Tom, that it is on top of the Medina Spirit news when you have the two most high profile people, or two of the most high profile people in the sport, in a negative way in the news, whether it's negative for the sport or not, but the news in itself is negative. That to me is bothersome. But what's not negative, Terry, usually is your best bet of the day. You can find those over at horseracingtoday.net. Terry, today, your best bet of the day. Well, first, how did your best bet do yesterday?
Did very well. Well, my first pick ran third, but my second pick ran second. Just about won that race, and my third pick ran third. So I hit the exacta and trifecta again. The exacta paid $9.90. The trifecta paid $27.40 for $1.
So today you are doing it at Mahoning Valley, race 3, which is probably not all that far away. So you better hop to it.
All right. So today in race 3, number 1, Statesboro, has finished 5 out of 6 races at Mahoning Valley in the money, winning 3 of those races. She has the highest speed figure at today's distance, and her best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters. Then number 6, Double Deep, has won 2 races in a row at Mahoning Valley, now going for a hat trick. Drops in class today and received the highest last race speed rating. And then number 2, Nod to Persia, won her last race at Mahoning Valley at today's distance on a sloppy track, which the track is sloppy today. And I had said the weather forecast calls for range, which would help her performance.
Well, interestingly, there's not a whole lot of scratches today, Terry, at least not so far, right?
Yeah, a couple, I think.
I looked it up as we got ready because we're going to do, looks like we're back in our Make It Rain wherever we're going to do our picks cycle.
Yeah.
But we're going to do the pick 4 today. Our fly 4 today is at Mahoning Valley. So that's races 5, 6, 7, and 8. Terry, I feel like there's some heavy favorites in here. So I don't know. Well, I think we should try to beat some of them for sure. But I don't know that we need to go a whole lot of deep in some races because we might be in one of those cases where you pay more than you win.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It's just like in the first race here is pretty wide open. I think even though there's a really even money favorite.
The 7, the 2 horse that's 7 to 5.
2,
well, yeah, the 5, the race 5 to start the sequence, and many, as we talk about all the time, when we do pick 4s, take a look at these horses not only for exactas, trifectas, maybe to complement what you're doing on your own, or if there's something in there you totally disagree with, throw it out for sure. But winning pick 4 sequences, 3 pick 3s, it's more difficult than hitting an exacta or trifecta. So think about doing exactas and trifectas. But anyway, it just gives Terry and I a chance to talk about more races and more horses. 6 furlongs, claiming 6,500, non-winners of 3 lifetime. And under that conditions in the rain, Terry, it's hard for me to pick a 7 to 5. But when you look at the track, 6 furlongs, Terry, they've had 112 races. 82 of them were won by speed. 48 go wire to wire. And then as far as the post positions are concerned, they play pretty fair from post 1 through 7. 8 and out have a little bit lower win rate. So how are you going to start this week's fly 4?
Well, I'm going to start with number 5 here in Val. And some of the reasons why is that at this distance, it's won 2 out of 5. It's done pretty good on an off track, and the horse is very competitive. You look at its lifetime in the money and wins. It's better than any of the other horses in here by quite a bit. Almost like half as good or better, 50% better. Even the morning line favorites. So the 5 is who I'm going to go for first.
The one thing I look for in here, Terry, is I mentioned speed does win this race, and the race is not filled with a ton of speed. And fortunately or unfortunately, the favorite, number 2, Special Beach, is likely to be one of those horses that's on the pace. But I think unquestionably the horse that's going to be on the gas and out of the gate is the 3 horse, and that's La Muneca. That horse, if you look at the 3 horse and its early pace figures, they're far and away the best. The horse has got, when you look past performances, it's the horse that has once dominating its past performances. Does tend to fade, Terry, but if it shakes free from the other horses in the field, it tends to hold on and win. Yeah. Horses dropping in class and last time out did run some improved early fractions before fading off. So I do think that the class relief from allowance 21,000 down to claiming 6,500. I mean, this horse hasn't run in a claiming race in quite a while. So I feel like the class relief, that early speed, it'll hold up.
Yeah, and it's actually my 5th pick. The only negative thing for me is that if you look on its off-track record, it hasn't fared very well. So.
But I did look at those numbers too, Terry. And if you look at like the Mahoning Valley numbers, for example, it does have by far the best Mahoning Valley numbers in the field. So that's why I put it in there. I have the 5 is one of my top selections. This is my 3rd. So they're all right in there. So what do you think we do with the 2?
Well, we have to put the 2 in. I mean, it's at this distance, finished in the money 5 out of 6 times, winning one of those. And, it showed that it can perform on the off track. So it's got a high percentage trainer, and it has the highest last speed rating. It has the highest speed figure at today's distance. It's got the best dirt speed among today's starters. And the trainer in the last 14 days has won 2 out of 6 starts. So, for me, we can't leave it out.
Yeah, Tom Carley mentions against the hedge in the pick 4 is the single his best bet in the group, and then to tell him with his top 5 horses in the next leg. I would also suppose that if it's in the last leg, you could single the last leg and put the top 5 horses in the leg before that too. So you could probably play it both ways. Maybe you do it both ways. If there's a scratch, Terry, I don't think we should go very deep beyond these 3 horses. I don't think the field is all that deep. I think there's 6, 7 horses in the field, something like that.
Yeah, there's 7, I think. Yeah.
So I don't know that we need to go 4 horses out of 7. If there is a scratch because of the rain, who would be your first replacement?
Number 6, Blonde by Nature, would be the one. And
instead of by die.
I die.
No, instead of by Blonde by Nature, natural.
Versus yeah. That's true. Well, and I like it because it's dropped in class, and the trainer has won 50% of his races. The second race after a claim, has the highest speed figure at today's distance, and the jockey has been doing really well. 11 out of 18 in the money in the last 7 days. 5 of those winners. And it shows that it can also handle the off track.
So for me, I would look at the 7 horse, Terry, coming in from Woodbine. The horse did show some improved speed last race out. So I think the horse is on the upswing. I do feel like, and maybe I'm wrong in this, but I'm not wrong in this. I'm never wrong, Terry. The horses sometimes don't run in the right order, but I do feel like coming from Woodbine to Mahoning Valley is a little bit of a step down in terms of track class, if you will.
Yeah. Yeah.
The next race is race number 6, Terry. I had these upside down in my notes here. It's 1 mile and 70 yards. They've run 17 races so far at the distance, Terry. 11 of the 17 were won by speed horses, but interestingly, 10 of the 11 that won by speed went wire to wire. So it looks like you want to be fast if you're going to be up front. And then if you look at the post positions, there's clearly an inside 3 bias. Particularly with the post, I think wins at something like 24% of the time. So that's a huge bias early on. So let's go ahead and figure out, are we going to start with that one horse, Terry, the other prohibitive favorite in this sequence?
Yeah, for me, yes. I'm going to start with the one. It's won 2 in a row already, and it's been in the money 8 out of 12 times this year. Winning 3 of those, it shows it can run on an off track. It's 5 out of 5 in the money, and it's the rail position is winning at a 25% clip. And I just saw the end of the last race, which was the second race. The one horse won. So there you go again. The trainer's doing really well. Won 4 out of 11 of the last 14 days. So for me, I have to put that one in.
Yeah, 2 for 2 at the distance, never out of the. I mean, 2 for 2 at Mahoning, never out of the distance, never out of the money at the distance, but hasn't won at the distance, which is interesting to me. And as you mentioned, 1 win in 5 tries across a muddy track or an off track, with the 2nd and 3/3. So always in the money at the track, always in the money at the distance, always in the money when it's muddy or wet. The horse for me, Terry, that I'm going to try to beat this one with is the 4 horse. Tis What. Tis What, last time out. I mean, this is the horse that's going to compete with it. Again, when I look at those early pace figures, it looks to me like the 4 horse is the one that's going to be on the lead, Terry. It's going to be it or the 1 horse. I suspect that the 4 horse is a little bit quicker than the 1 out of the gate. And if it can get to the lead, Terry, and stay to the lead, more often than not, this horse closes it out. The distance is not going to be a problem. Last time out at a mile at Thistle Downs, wired the field. And if you look at the Mahoning Valley, 1 3 of 6, but the scores that it produced at Mahoning Valley are much higher than the scores that any other horse, including the 1, has produced at Mahoning Valley. So I'm going to go with the 4 horse. I feel like he's going to get to the lead and might not give it up.
I agree with you. He's my second choice. I really like the fact that he's ran 3 times on an off track and won twice. And yeah, he likes Mahoning Valley. He's been 5 out of 6 in the money, 3 winners. And in this jockey trainer combination in the last 14 days have won 4 out of 12 mounts.
Do you feel like you want to go any deeper here, or do you feel like this is enough?
I think it's enough, but I would like to put one to the side in case there's a scratch, and that'd be number 5, Fashion Fortune. And, if anything's going to close, this is a horse that will. It's 1 out of 1 on a off track, and it basically it's going from the turf to the dirt again. So
for me, if I were going to stick one in here, Terry, as a scratch replacement, or to go a little bit deeper, if you wanted to go deeper, again, speed is key. Being inside is key. The 3 horse, Queen of Catnip Hill. Queen of Catnip Hill. Anyway, yeah. That horse does have a lot of early speed as well, Terry. It's going to get out of the gates pretty quickly, and it's making its 3rd start off a layup. And if you look back at its previous 3-race cycle, the 3rd race was considerably better than the first 2. And in the first 2 this time around, Queen of Catnip Hill improved from race to race. So any further improvement could be enough to get Queen of Catnip Hill past the 1 or the 4 and ruin our pick 4.
That's true. It looks pretty decent to me. So
race number 7, Terry. We're going to do a cheap one. This is going to be like the hamburger budget, Terry. This is going to be, since we can't do prime rib anymore, Terry, because of inflation.
Yep.
Anyway, we don't want to go down that road, but this is going to be the sirloin burger pick 4 today.
All righty.
Race number 7, Terry, is 1 mile. This one they've run 45 times. 34 of them are speed horses. 14 of them have gone wire to wire, Terry. And once again, we find out that there's an inside-out bias, not as dominant as it is at a mile and 70 yards. I don't know why that 70 yards made such a big difference, but it does. So again, inside, probably fast is the way to go. Who do you think is inside and fast, Terry?
Well, actually, the 3 is inside, and he's fast.
Mm-hmm.
And he's breaks on top or close to the lead almost every time. Has the highest last speed rating, and also he has a highest speed at today's figure. He likes the off track. The only negative things is he's been in the money 9 out of 10 times this year, but hasn't won one.
Yeah, hasn't won at Mahoning Valley either.
No.
So yeah, I think of all of these heavy favorites today, Fortunate Gina might be the most vulnerable of the group.
Yeah, I agree.
And it's because the horse does show speed and then fade, speed and then fade, speed and then fade. Last time out, those fractions were a little bit faster than the previous race, so that's a good sign to me. So maybe the horse is on the improve. I, of course, want to beat it. And again, I'm just looking at some of the horse history at Mahoning Valley, and it looks to me like the horse with the best horse history, that's a pretty tough one to spit out without messing up, is Double D's Revenge. Has run at Mahoning Valley 17 times, been on the board 10 of those 17 times. Last time out, ran considerably better fractions than the previous race, although it was a little bit shorter. And I think if any horse is going to be able to sit off of the 3-horse and then close it down at the end, it's going to be Double D's Revenge.
Okay, I didn't have it as one of my picks, but I won't cancel it. So,
all right, how much deeper do you want to go here?
I want to go on another one, number 6, Power Banker, and Power Banker drops in class today. Matter of fact, between this and the 2, I was having a really hard time deciding which one was my top pick. The early running speed will help.
Do you mean the 2 or the 3?
Let's see.
I think you meant the 3.
3, yeah.
Okay.
Fortunate Gina, yeah. So this between the 6 and the 3, I was having a hard time which one I wanted to be first. So anyway, I like this horse. He's won 3 out of 10 at Mahoning Valley. So I'd like that one to be put in. Matter of fact, I'm going to lock that.
You're going to lock it. All right. So in case you don't know what a lock is, we can veto either one, so picks anytime we want. But if there's one horse in the whole sequence that you demand be put in, you get to lock it in, and there's not a damn thing I can do about it. I could hate this horse. And I can't tell Terry too bad. I worry about it because this is another case to me where the horse is going down 2 classes. This looks to me like David Wolochuk is trying to get rid of the horse. That's what it looks like to me, Terry. So I could be wrong. The horse could win in the drop because he's won 1 out of 3 in that type of drop. But the fractions last time out were a little bit, they were a little bit quicker, but that die at the end, that's not the right word today, that fade at the end scares me a lot. If I were going to, I do have them in my picks. If I were going to put a horse to the side, Terry, for this muddy, rainy day, it would be the 5-horse for me. Any for you?
The 1-horse, My Little Lily, a long shot.
All right. Race number 8, the final race of the day, Terry, is this one's another 6-furlong race, as we mentioned. You want to have some early pace because that's the way to win. And from posts 1 through 7, all play pretty fair. Outside of that, the 8-horse and above, a little bit lower in terms of win percentages. So they do drop off the farther away you get from the rail there. And the 8-horse here, Terry, Sorority Sister, is a big favorite. But I'm going to start with the horse, Terry, here that number 2 horse for me is the one I'm going to start with. And that is Hosanna. Did show some speed last time out. Is the second time with the trainer, which is a 30% angle for Gary Johnson. He's won, and that's in 44 races, so it's not a small data set. And the second time his horses have gotten Lasix, they've won 5 out of 8. And I have said many times, I'm a big fan of horses that show speed and then get Lasix. And I do recall Trevor McCarthy telling us in the Player's Edge podcast that he likes horses second time around on Lasix better than the first time around. So I'm putting my thoughts together with Trevor McCarthy's thoughts. Fast horse, second time Lasix. I think the horse will get to the lead today and be less inclined to give it up.
Yeah, he's my third choice.
That's
trainer
the
wins.
Horse, not the 5.
Beg pardon? 2. Yeah.
I'm just saying that's the 2-horse, not the 5. I put the 5 in there erroneously.
Oh, okay. Anyway, he's my third choice, and the trainer wins 29% of the time when the second start with the turn. And I think cutting back in the distance, it's not cutting back. It ran in the mud last time, I guess, too. Yeah. But anyway, I like the horse, and I like its chances. But my other horse would be number 6, Angel Wings. And I really liked the very first race it ran. It was a big long shot, but it closed to finish second by 4 3/4, and it did that in the mud.
Mm-hmm.
and also and at Mahoning Valley. So it's got a really good jockey, Angel Diaz. So this is my top pick.
His number one pick. Yeah, I liked it a little bit too. I don't like that slow break. I really don't like closers in shorter races, particularly on the mud, though sometimes you see them come from way, way back because the other ones get discouraged and it's the only one with any charge left.
Right.
But yeah, I like them to be in the front, Terry, when it's a little bit wet out. Anymore, I'm liking them more and more because of so many times we see closers just get crappy rides and just get beat, not because the horse, but beat because he took a bad trip. I guess for me, the last pick here, Terry, and this probably will round out our pick 4, is the 8 horse, unless you wanted to stick somebody else in here. The 8 horse is the favorite. It's another one that's going to close, but in the past has shown some ability to get to the front. 2 out of 3 races in the slop, finished third. Has a win, has second and third, and 2 at Mahoning Valley. So I don't want to get beat by Sorority Sister. I just want to beat Sorority Sister. I think some of the horses that we bet in front of it, I like better than the 8. But can we put them out?
No, I like him.
Her. I mean, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Yeah, her.
Mm-hmm.
They're all females today. But anyway, I like her because she's my second pick. And whenever the trainer brings a beaten favorite back for this next race, wins 25% of the time, has the best dirt speed among today's starters, actually tied with somebody else. And Jeffrey Sanchez in the last 7 days have won 4 out of 7 mounts. So it's a good,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I want to include it.
You want to include that one in there? Okay, fantastic. I mean, I agree. I think we have to put the horse in there. So I'm all for it, Terry.
Okay.
All right. Any other horse that you think we should stick in here in the event there's a scratch, or one you want to add just to close it out?
I like the 1A Birdie Chance, and I like it because it ran a pretty nice two races to start with at Thistle Downs, and it had a little problem the last race at Mahoning Valley, but I'm going to give it a break on that, a pass. Mm-hmm. So I like this horse. So.
All right, we'll put the 1A in there, Terry. If I were going to put one in there on the side, I think it would be the 4 horse, but I really do believe between the 2, 6, and 8, we have it covered. But I would like, if we get to the end, for the long shot, of course, to win. So looking at this ticket, Terry, it's 9 times 4. This one's only $36, Terry. We're starting the week on a low budget. Remember that song from the Kinks?
I do, yeah.
I'm on a low budget. I'm now all the kids that are like under 50 are like, what in the hell is that guy talking about? But there you go. There is our Fly 4 at Mahoning Valley to kick off this week, December 6th, with the 2, 3, and 5 in the first leg, the 1 and the 4 in the second leg, 3, 4, and 6 in race number 7, and then 1A, 2, 6, and 8 to close it out, hoping to catch a price in there. Again, look at some of these horses. If you like them, take them. If you like some of the ones on the side, put them in there. One thing I always suggest, and as Tom Carley mentioned, one of his best hedges when doing a pick 4 is to single one out and then back it up in the next race or the previous race with 4 or 5 selections for a double. One of the things I suggest we do, and Terry, this happened for you on Saturday when we did the live at Aqueduct, take your top pick in every race, and whatever your unit is, just put the top pick together in one more pick 4 ticket. So in this case, if you're doing it for 50 cents, if we put the 5, the 1, the 3, and the 2 in a 50-cent pick 4, that would cost you 50 cents. And if the 5, 1, 3, and 2 win, you double your pick 4 payout for just 50 cents more. It's a betting strategy I see so many people not do, and ends up costing them a lot of money over time. So make sure you incorporate that in your pick 3s, your doubles, all of those tickets, because it barely increases the cost, but doubles the potential return provided all your favorite horses win. All right, Terry, let's take a look at how we did these pick 4s on our own. Terry really thinks the first leg is wide open, Terry. I think we just lost Terry. I don't know where he went, but I will go ahead and tell you, Terry likes the 2, 3, 5, 6, and 7. He likes the 1 in race number 6, the 3, 6 in race number 7, the 2, 6, 8. You can see that. For me, I went 2, 3, 1, 4, trying to beat some of those early favorites with some prices. 3, 4, and 6, 2, 6, and 8. Let's take a look at our box it up. No, Terry, it's kind of odd being by yourself, but In any case, what we do with the Box It Up, it's a $1. It's a where we take 4 horses at one race. Terry did Mahoning race number 4. We put them in a $1 exacta box, a $1 a 50-cent trifecta box, and a 10-cent superfecta box. Terry, you're back. Tell us about your Box It Up.
Yeah, okay. I like in the fourth race at Mahoning Valley, I like the entry 2B, but they have scratched one of those horses. I think they scratched the 2. And then I like the entry 1A, baritone and double the laugh. Then I like number 4, last drop of wine. And then like number 5, make the rules.
For me, I went over to Parks, race number 6. Flim Flam Man is a best bet today over at Guaranteed Tip Sheet. So I tried to find a race that has some horses with some prices in it, along with a best bet. You can get all of today's best bets and all of our selections at guaranteedtipsheet.com. Make sure you head over there for that. For me, I like race 6. Flim Flam Man, Insta Famous, We Be There, and Buffalo Shuffle, Terry.
Yep.
And if you go over to today to Guaranteed Tip Sheet, you'll find that I click the right button here, that the free track of the day this afternoon is Zia Park. All you need to do is head over there to Guaranteed Tip Sheet, register, click on Zia Park, and you will see that you get those picks, all of them today for free. Race number 1, we like the 5, the 7, the 1, and the 4. You see a nice little price there with the 1 horse with Jess's Charm. That is one of those bumper car races, Terry, the quarter horses. And yeah. I don't know about you, but anytime I see a quarter horse race where one of the horses' name is Jess, it seems like those Jess horses always do well in the bumper car races. I don't know what it is about them.
I don't either.
Me either. So if you like what you saw today, folks, we would appreciate it if you're on YouTube to subscribe and hit the bell so when we go live, give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed what you saw today. Or you can head over to our Facebook page at Horse Race Today or at Racing Radar. Same taglines, I guess, at Twitter and Facebook, Horse Race Today and Racing Radar. Give us a thumbs up, follow us, a like, retweet, all that sort of stuff that helps us move up their algorithms. We'd appreciate that. Any final thoughts, Terry, before we get up and out of here on this Monday?
Yeah, just have a good week. Stay safe. The weather is going to be pretty nice here, I think. I don't think we're going to have any rain or anything. I see there's a lot of bad weather back east, but let's be careful out there.
Terrible
driving. Yeah, if you don't have to drive, don't. And just have a good week.
Indeed, I'm going to say rest in peace, Medina Spirit. You didn't deserve any of this crap that's happened to you in the last year. And then, of course, folks, we hope to put a lot of cash in your pocket with today's pick 4. May all your bets end up in the winner's circle. And Terry, tomorrow, so folks know, our pick 4 is going to be at Parks because they have a $100,000 stakes race tomorrow, the $200,000 Pennsylvania Nursery in race 9. If you want to include your picks, go ahead and send them to me at gtsrichb@gmail.com, or you can put them up on the comment section here while Terry and I are live tomorrow, same place, same time, or put them on Facebook again at Horse Race, the number 2 day at Facebook and on Twitter. Terry, we'll see you tomorrow. Until then, everybody, we hope your life and all of your picks end up in the
winner's circle.
Absolutely, folks. Have a fantastic Monday.